Some of you probably remember this set, which I showed you guys a couple years ago. This is the Magnavox AW-100, which was the world's first all-transistor multiband shortwave radio, and it was introduced in 1957. And some of you guys may have noticed that I hit 1,000 subscribers, so I figured that this radio here would be an appropriate radio to show you guys to celebrate hitting that big milestone. This is the prototype for the Magnavox AW-100. Had this for about a year, and I bought it from a couple blurry pictures, thinking that it, might be a prototype. And having, looked it over more thoroughly now that I've got it, I'm, 99% sure. Can't really be 100% sure without some documentation, but well, I'll show you what I think proves that point. Now you'll notice that the case on this set is made of leather, which unfortunately someone has crudely slapped a thick coat of paint over. I don't know if that was done at the factory or later by whoever ended up taking this set home, but it doesn't look all that great. You can see the leather is pretty severely degraded. I don't want to open and close the back of the set too many times. The production set is made of wood covered in leatherette. You notice there's no trim pieces here like there are on the production set, and the bubble for the dial lamp is hidden underneath this curved plastic piece. The knob layout is also different. There's no fine-tuning control. This control here is the volume, and then this is the tone in the back. The production set has this fine-tuning control, which isn't super useful. You can see it's got quite a bit of backlash. The band switch design is functionally the same as the production version. I believe these are the same as the knobs that you would find on the production, tan-colored set. I don't have that version. Over here's a dial light switch. On the production set, that's located on the back of the chassis back here. This set does still work. I haven't really done anything with it, and I don't intend to. I mean, this set is literally one of a kind, so I want to leave it, in the condition it was when I received it. Let's hear it play for a bit first, and then I'll show you the inside. It's set to broadcast right now.
A lot of space. Now what are they going to call? They're going to call a balk? They're going to call a balk. Oh, what a break for the Yankees.
Here is the right-handed slinger, Matt Oversteek. The backfield, not as good as McCaffrey, but
That's when I started Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
There isn't really anything to receive on shortwave right now, but we'll just, I guess, give that a little go. Actually, on this first band, I might be able to get something basically on the upper end of the AM band. There's a faint station. See, the dial light does work. You're wondering what this is about? Little screws on the back of the cover on the other set are like razor sharp. from use. They got like little sharp edges. I sliced my finger pretty good taking that thing out of the case. Side of the radio, the back. On the bottom it says top grain cowhide made in USA. I'm guessing they contracted out making this case, but who knows. I mean, I doubt it's something that the engineers did. Now here's what I'm sure you're all wanting to see. The guts of the thing. Just going to prop open the case carefully with a screwdriver here. That'll stay. I don't want to pry it open any further than that, because that, top hinge there is probably about ready to go. Same thing with these. You can see they're cracked most of the way through. Once I take the batteries out of this thing, I'm probably not going to open it again for a long time. Now, looking at these two sets, you may notice something. There's a bunch of parts on the prototype that are marked with, red paint slashes. And every single one of those parts is different on the production version. You see the tuning cap is slightly different. You'll notice that the electrolytic capacitor there says Magnavox test sample for Magnavox. I think that alone pretty much confirms this is a factory prototype. And there's the production capacitor there. The only thing that seems to be different with the antenna mounts is the color on the production version. You'll notice that the transistors have a little numbered sticker on them. Guessing they were individually tested for the purpose. And that little capacitor there has some handwritten markings on it. One up there. I'm not sure that this battery holder was the one that they originally used in the factory. And you can see it's crudely attached with wire nuts there. The battery holder here is different than what was used in the production version, which took one of these kinds of batteries. There's a plug. One of the wires broke off. I got to resolder that. This is the same style of battery holder that Zenith used on some of their portables. You can see it was extended by cutting off part of another one to hold 8 C batteries for 12 volts total. And the production version ran on 9 volts. Not sure why they did that, and that may have been done after this set left the factory, and hopefully it was given to an employee. But, I mean, that history is pretty much lost unless someone happens to recognize this thing. There's a bunch of writing in there. It says number 2506 Eveready Neta 1601, which is these batteries. You see it says 1601. So I'm guessing that whoever owned this set after its time as a prototype chopped off the original battery holder and put this monstrosity in there. Seems like someone else was using it on NiCad cells too. It says 9.6 volt NiCad, 8 cells, 1 amp hour, charge 100 milliamps, 15 hours. In red paint there you can see it says R50-01AA, and that same number is stamped on this production version here. It's a little hard to read. I'm not sure what this number is, maybe a date code in some odd format. There's also the sticker down here that's not present in this prototype here. Though it looks like at one point there was a sticker glued down there. I know it's hard to see because of the lighting. It's not the greatest angle. Now look how poorly soldered that connection is there. That was definitely after the factory. You can see it moving around. That's a cold solder joint. I should take that off there and replace that. If I've got a spare one of these battery holders, I think I'm going to put that back on there. I think someone did a hack job on this later on. I don't really want to pull the chassis out of this thing. It's almost guaranteed to destroy the leather. Look at the antenna mounts. on this prototype. It looks like it's cut from a piece of like circuit board type material. And the factory one, it's got a nice plastic piece here. They also changed the design of the feet they use. Overall, this is a pretty cool set, I would say, and it's definitely a permanent keeper for me. This is the only pretty much definite factory prototype I have, and I'm very happy that it's also a historically significant set. Well, thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. I never would have thought I'd hit 1,000 subscribers. Took quite a while to get here. So I really appreciate everyone that's subscribed so far. So I hope you keep enjoying my videos, and I plan on continuing to make them.